So you want to take your waves from shallow to deep. Alright, stay tuned, man. I'm finna give y'all the information, man. The whole bust down on how you can get your waves from to
Warning, proceed with caution. Life vest highly recommended for viewers beyond this point.
So first thing I wanna let y'all know, bro. I want to clarify something off rip because I know some people might come into this with false expectations and misconceptions about this waving game, but I'm gonna just clarify right now, bro. Meek Mill said it best. It's levels to this waving game, bro. So I'm gonna need y'all to know right now that it's gonna take patience, time, and most importantly, work. You stay with those three things, you're gonna be alright. But first of all, let's dive deeper into what those three aspects of the waving game mean, right? Starting off with patience. What does that mean to you? So, I'm gonna walk y'all through my wave journey. Basically, this most previous one, I mean, there's been multiple wave journeys, right? Trial and error. So, I'm gonna basically walk y'all through my past one with some photos, and then I'm gonna give y'all a realistic timeline, cause you might have these wavers on here talking about some get waves in 1 week. Man, nah. That ain't how it work, bro.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
So look, check me out though. So right now what you looking at is a photo of me basically the first day that I cut my hair. This is July 3rd, 2021. And right there, you know, I'm standing with my hair in the sink and whatnot. But yeah, so basically I went to a bald Caesar. Well, it's not necessarily bald, but it's just like an all-around even cut, man. All-around even low cut. I would say like a one guard closed question mark. But yeah. And then this is just another view of it, man. The same day, pretty much next day or whatnot. This next photo that you're looking at right here, you can clearly see I'm starting to catch some traction with the waves, mostly on the top of my head. Like, that's where I was putting in the most brush work. And so that's where the most waves is gonna be, like just straight 180s on the top, man. I'm still liking around on the sides and the back, on both sides and the back. I still need to catch up. But then again, you know, I just started waving, so this is about a month in, and then 2 weeks later to that, I'm back wolfing again. And so you see on my left side right here, I got pretty much waves all the way around, but that left side needs some major work, bro. Like, none of them are connecting. They kind of going wherever they want to go. That needs some work. And then, you know, same day, later that day at the beach, just showing you from the front, like, waves catching traction. This is around like August 10th. So it's roughly like a month and a week after the initial cut. And then so we got another cut again. I think I cut my hair like 2 days after that. And so I made the mistake of cutting it too low, because you can see right now, like, I kind of lost most of my progress on the back, on the left side. I think I cut it like a one guard. I should have cut it like a two, kept it a two, kept it thick. And that's another thing I'm gonna get into, y'all. Definitely looking good on the top though. This video right here. Okay, spinning on the top, left side, got waves. Need to tame them things and get them in order for sure. Right side still needs some work too, but it's, you know, it's coming along. And then finally right now, September 4th, that's, I mean, I've been woofing for a whole month after that, but kind of like this is once I had the waves established. This is pretty much what it looks like, you know. Left side decent, right side decent. Right now it's just about putting that maintenance, man. So with that being said, bro, I just wanted to show that to y'all. So it took me roughly about, it was July 3rd when I first cut my hair that day, and then it was September 4th when I showed y'all that last photo. Those last two photos of how my waves is spinning lately. So it's gonna take you a solid 2 months. Well, it took me a solid 2 months. I'm not saying that it's gonna take the same amount of time for you, but ideally, you know, if you doing what you need to do and doing your proper woofs in between your cuts, man, instead of just chop, chop, chop every other week, then it's probably gonna take you about 2 months to get the waves spinning 360 all the way around your head. I'm just showing y'all that to clarify, man, you gotta be patient with this thing. It's gonna take time. The next aspect that we gonna dive in is time. I got a couple questions that I figured that y'all might not know to ask, but you know, it's good questions to start a foundation on for trying to figure out the direction to go into with this deepening wave stuff. So the 2 questions is, am I at the right point in my wave journey to start trying to deepen my waves? And number 2, what length do I need in order to deepen my waves? So I would say, as far as being at the right point in order to lengthen your waves, you gotta understand that off rip, the first thing that you focus on when you first focusing on trying to get waves, you're not gonna be focused in on trying to deepen the waves or trying to strengthen those connections, because, bruh, you don't even have waves yet, right? You don't even have fully developed waves. So how you gonna deepen some undeveloped waves? How you gonna strengthen undeveloped connections that waves aren't even there yet? So your main focus is to first off get you a good length and get you some woofing under your belt before you start trying to maintain, or like before you start trying to do the detail work. Like, what point would that be at? I would say it would depend really on your hair type. For me, it took about 2 months because of my hair texture and my curl pattern. Like, the looser your curls are, the longer that you gotta wait to start being at a good point for your waves, because your hair doesn't start curling until a certain length. So you have to grow it out and then you have to brush it down. So I'm gonna throw a picture right here. This is what my hair looks like when it's curly, so y'all can kind of get a more feel for what type of texture or what type of curls that I have when it's grown out like a fro style. So let's say I cut it all the way even, and I had the all even low cut, 1 guard, closed open, I can't remember, one of those. I woof, I would say like a month. I woof like for a good month. You're not gonna be able to get it all in your first woof, because you have to start training the hair first of all. From that base, all even low cut, you have to start training it. So you want to train it for like a month and then get you a fresh cut, man. Try to keep as much hair as possible, but still keep it fresh, you know what I'm saying? And then you go in again another month. I would say like a month and a half even, maybe. So that's one thing I made the mistake of though. I was woofing again, but then I cut it too low. So with this waving thing, you want to keep your hair as thick as possible, because you can't get deeper waves if you got thin hair. So you want to make sure if you woofing these long periods of time and you cutting it too low, then you kind of just cutting off your progress in a sense, right? You see these guys that woof for 6 months, you know, upwards of 6 months, and they get like a 1 guard, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of that, bro? You look like anybody else that just been cutting their hair.
I like your cut, G.
Every 2 weeks or so, because you cut off so much progress, right? So if you want to really capitalize off that, you know, you got to keep it at higher lengths when you cutting it. So I would say about 2 to 4 haircuts, depending on your hair type, that you need. Like, so you up the woofing process a little longer each time between each haircut, right? Month, first haircut, second haircut, month and a half, third haircut, 2 months, so on and so forth until, so this is when, pay attention, this is when you start trying to better the waves, man. You gotta have all the way around waves. You gotta have waves all the way around, bro. Like, if you got a wave in every single spot on your head that you can possibly have a wave, then and only then, my boy, are you ready to progress to the next level. You remember I said there's levels to this, right? You don't want to do this prematurely, or you're gonna be frustrated with your results. You also want a length that you can comb through, right? So you want it to be ideally a couple weeks since your last cut, right? So that way you can have, for my corset wavers, I know that when y'all get a cut, man, the optimal wave length might be like a 1.5 for your hair length to maintain that thickness and make those waves pop like you need to. So I don't know, 1.5 might not be enough hair to actually like comb through for real, to strengthen those connections and stretch those waves out to deepen them. So you might need a little longer length than that. So like, yeah, like I said, a few weeks post haircut, post last haircut, you know. And you really just want to have established waves, man. You really just want to have certified waves that it's not like you keep trying to get more waves, like they're all already there. And now it's just time to deepen them, and it's time to better those connections. As far as length, like I said, for Corsair wavers, I would suggest probably a 1.5 would keep that most length, like as most waves and as deep as possible without risking being over curled because it's too much hair, like too much frizz, losing too much progress with it being too low. So that's probably that sweet spot right there. My hair with my curl pattern and all, optimal length would be like a 2 guard. So there you go. Now, next point we getting into, man, is gonna be that work part of it, right? It's really self-explanatory, but I'm gonna explain it to those who don't know how to explain things to themselves. You know what I'm talking about if you go back to my first video. For the work, man. Long story short, you can plan and prep all you want to, but if you're not brushing, you're not gonna see no progress, my boy. If you're not brushing, you're not gonna stretch your waves out, and you're not gonna make them deeper. You're not gonna train them how you need to train them, because when your hair start to get a little longer, man, it want to do what it want to do, man. These curls want to curl how they want to curl, and they ain't listening. Like a bad kid, bro. Like, you gotta just brush that thing. You gotta just over and over and over, because you got certain parts. I know if you really been waving, you can relate to me, bro. It's just frustrating sometimes. You got hair that you know, that's not curling. I had to realize too, man. I don't want to tell y'all to do something that I'm not even doing myself. So I was like, I might as well put in a little more effort, at least, because like my left side is lacking. My right side straight, but for some reason my left side, it kind of want to do its own thing. The waves want to kind of like skip around and do like S waves and stuff like that. They don't want to really go in circular full connection. So now I'm having to pay attention to that. Use the comb a little more. Still use the brush and lay it down and whatnot. But we're going to see after this next cut, after I'm done with this waving session. And we're going to get that going. Next thing, as far as maintenance, bro, this is probably one of the most important parts. Actually, all of these are the most important parts, because, I mean, I wouldn't put them in there if they wasn't. But this is very important, right? Maintenance, bro. You have to maintain the waves even more so as it gets up in length, because it's easy to get discouraged, right? Like, it gets longer in length. Say you miss wearing your do-rag one time, but you got a really long wolf going on. It's gonna be a struggle to get that hair back compressed and back trained. All right, maybe that's an overkill, like not one day do-rag, but say you missed like 3 or 4 days. Say you was really just fed up with some other stuff, you was busy. You know what I'm saying? You're not really paying attention, tending to your hair like you need to. It's gonna be hard to get that compression back. It's not gonna be impossible, but it ain't gonna be as trained as it was if you were staying on top of it every day, man, laying that hair down. It's very important that you have your brushing then. I would suggest a medium brush after you get your fresh cuts, because like you took a decent amount of hair off if you was wolfing for a while. So if you feel like you don't want to go in with the hard brush because you feel like you can get through to all the way through to the waves at the scalp a little easier, and it might hurt for you when it's wet, or like you just fresh out the shower and stuff like that, go with a medium brush, man. Still go through, lay those waves down, and then like as the hair gets longer, you go up and go to the hard brush, because when you wolfing, you trying to get those hairs underneath all the way to the scalp. You trying to train those as much as possible. We don't care about the top as much, right? Because when we get a fresh cut, what goes first? The top layers. So you're trying to get all the way to the bottom, man. When you're wolfing, you're trying to get all of that trained. So you got to make sure you're using your brush and you're getting all the way. You're not just surface brushing. You taking your time. Like me, I used to rush, boom, boom, boom. Brush super fast. Don't do that, man. Slow and controlled strokes. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get that right. Also, highly tested, highly suggested. This might be one of the most overlooked points. Find you a product that's good, that's gonna keep your waves in line. Like, find you a wave pomade, and it's not gonna have a lot of product buildup. Because with product buildup comes so much other problems that's gonna make it way more, you know, problematic for you to woof. So if you got product buildup, you gonna freaking have to wash your waves a lot more often than if you had a pomade that was going in smooth, coming out easy. It's building up, like I said, like it's building up. And then when you wash your waves, if you don't got the right shampoo, then you're gonna be drying your waves out and taking those essential oils and essential moistures that you need for your hair to be moisturized and cooperate to lay down. You're gonna be stripping it of all those oils, and then your hair gonna be not the right texture. It's not gonna be trained like you want it to. Probably gonna be a little more frizzy because you ruffling through it. Like you gotta get all in it, you gotta lather it up, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, actually wash it to get all the product buildup out. You can just avoid all of that, man. Off rip, just avoid all of that by making sure that you have a good pomade that goes in smooth and comes out smooth. And if y'all go look at my first video, how to get waves as soon as possible, and my haircut video, my first one that I did on my channel, y'all will see the pomade that I referenced to y'all, man. That one does really well. It doesn't have a lot of build up, but it's really strong too. You know, I've mentioned that multiple times on the channel, other way videos. Go check it out, go see, and so y'all can try that one out. If you've been, you know, searching for one, you don't know which one to use, or you got too many options, there, I give you an option what I use right there. So now we basically went over everything that we need to for y'all boys to get deeper waves, man. So ain't no good in watching a video if you ain't gonna apply it. So make sure that y'all, man, make sure that y'all paying attention to this, bro. If you for real want to take your waves to the next level, use all of these things that I told you in this video. And I got a very good topic coming up the next after this one, bro. Once you trying to deepen your waves, but you might have a question. D-Chose, how long should I be woofing when I'm trying to deepen these waves? So we gonna take another look at how long you should be woofing, man, and I'm gonna put that on the next video for y'all boys. So we gonna keep growing it, we gonna keep progressing in this wave journey. I'm learning as y'all learn. If you got anything out of this, man, subscribe and stay tuned for the next video on how long you should be woofing, man. D-Chose, I'm out of this thing. Y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves and stay brushing, man. We gone.